First point, way to keep looking out for us. Thanks for that catch.
We'll go to a few shops around the island and pick up everything that we need. I'm laughing because Adam's trying to cut this left-handed. I just realised I have no idea where I'm going and I didn't turn the maps on beforehand. It's the best day ever now! You just end up wanting to get stuff done. After all that, we're good, we're good. Welcome to our self-inflicted adventure.
What seems like a lifetime ago, we left Australia intending to sail our way around the world.
It's been a roller coaster since then, and while the plan has changed many times, we've been laughing our way through and learnt a new lesson for every step of the way.
And between us, the real adventure has only just begun.
Last episode on sailing Millennial Falcon. The last thing that we had to do was to connect the radio up. So it arrived and I got really excited at 7:30 at night and decided to install it. Turned it on, all we could hear was something is wrong with the signal. Alright, I see little triangles.
As of 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we will be on our way to Bermuda. So the last time you go, So last episode, a great many of you pointed out in the comments and via a few emails actually, that you've noticed we don't have any split pins in the rigging. First point, way to keep looking out for us. Thanks for that catch. Second point, we absolutely knew about it. They are out because we've been tuning in our rig and we've been doing so for sort of, well, at every opportunity for the last week, I suppose. Long story short, we sailed back from Tintamar and we were sort of dialing in the rig, messing with, trying to balance out the helm because I've mentioned a few times that, well, perhaps it didn't make the final cut. Anyway.
I might have cut you out,
I think Khiara cut me out, but the first day when we tested out the sails, I said, insert here, but we're consistently overpowered on the main, and I suspect that's because the rake angle is a little bit too far back. And on the way back from Tintamar, before we had a chance to really mess with it, we also experienced some weather helm. So we've been trying to dial that out, and Khiara and I at Grand Case, when we returned from Tintamar, did what you've seen us do, and we sort of went for a sail after that, and we kind of did move the needle, but we didn't get it perfect. What we're going to do today is the last piece of the puzzle. Unfortunately, when we changed out our diamond stays, we referenced those based on the old ones. And now that we've tuned and balanced out the rig and done, you know, really paid attention, we actually have a forward bow where the baby stay meets the mast at the top spreaders. And that's introduced by the tension in the diamond stays that are slung over the cow catcher, which means that they're too short. I can't slacken them off anymore, they're just too short. So what I've done, we've gone out and bought some long stud starlock fittings to buy me about 3 inches of wire back. I'm going to go up, cut the short studs out, put them away, and reinstall some long stud stay locks and basically buy myself another 2 or 3 inches of wire so that I can slacken them right off, get the mast straight, and then go back to hand tight and then tune the rig at ground level and then make sure it is straight. So diamond stays shouldn't be working unless the mast is loaded up. They should have no effect on the actual shape of the mast in the unloaded condition. So, and they are at present. So they've got to go, they've got to be lengthened and retuned. So that's today's job. And then we'll put the pins back in and that should be done and dusted for a long time. I want to stop messing around with the rig quite so often.
Doing great, babe.
I don't even think I'm going to need to shorten these. I'm just going to have to cut the starlock off and put it straight back on the long stud.
I'm laughing because Adam's trying to cut this left-handed, and we had a conversation yesterday as well where we were trying to put a screw back into a really awkward place, and Adam once again was like, I need a left-handed crew member. I feel like this should be an added bonus if you're left-handed on a boat, that, you know, you automatically just get taken up as crew being left-handed because they're so useful. Alright, so he's back down on deck level. He kind of left the diamond stays very loose, like hand tight. He's now just putting on the baby stay, he's now tightening that one up. At this stage, it definitely has made a noticeable improvement on the straightness of a mast. Check it out.
Many of you might have noticed, actually, no one said anything, but I'm sure you all noticed that in episodes years gone by, we've had this whip crack of a noise. So quiet and calm out here. There's no waves, there's no swell, and there's just the tiniest bit of wind, just enough to get us going. Anyone who's ever parked near us on a calm night knows all about it.
And what is said whip cracking?
Said whip cracking was this stupid thing not run through a conduit. So there is a conduit in the mast, but whoever put it in there just ran it straight down the center of the mast. No security, just no attempt to secure it whatsoever. And so it's just gone smack, smack, and every time the boat rocks, this thing just, you know, all 60 feet of it just goes whack against one side and whack against the other. And it really does sound like a whip crack. We sort of, I guess, have tuned it out. But it's only since we put the small RG8 cable, which is much, much smaller, in the mast, that we've noticed that the noise is just, you can't hear it.
No, the crack is back. A few of you mentioned in the last episode that we may have put in incorrect wire and an incorrect fitting at the end. Absolutely correct. And lesson to be learnt here is to not listen to the experts in the shop, but to do your own research before you go shopping. We have replaced it and we now have the correct fittings and the wire. And despite spending an hour and a half up the mast trying to put the new wire through the conduit, no such luck. The crack remains, the crack is back. Alright, so we've finished our task for the day, which was changing out our diamond stays, or lengthening our diamond stays. And I think you can see from our footage it has made a massive impact. Our mast is no longer bone, which is fantastic. Today we've decided to rent a car and we're going to use it for a day and a half to go and provision. We're going to be renting it for about a day and a half, and we're sharing it with Craig and Zena as well, so they'll be coming with us. I've written out a massive list of everything that I think we might need for about a month and a half. No fresh fruit at this stage because we'll get that on a final day. We'll go to a few shops around the island and pick up everything that we need. Alright, car is rented. Now to go pick up Craig and Zena. Adam is going to drop off the gas tank to me at the same time so that we can get our gas topped up. When you're living on a boat and you need to haul your own gas, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to try and get it, to try and haul it, find someone who does it. So when we have a car, it's obviously the perfect time to get our gas topped up. We just ran out the other day, which is awesome, so we're on our backup. Started our backup, and we want to get them all topped up now while we're in a place that accepts American fittings before we head across to the Atlantic, and I believe they do not accept, or they don't fill up American gas tanks there. So we're going to get everything topped up and all good before we go. I just realised I have no idea where I'm going and I didn't turn the maps on beforehand. Alright, gas is all topped up, our propane, and now we are on to Ace Hardware for some last minute things that may or may not have recently just fallen in the water and we need to replace them. Alright, then final stop for the day, food. which there's going to be a lot. I think we might need to do a few trips back and to and from the boat. Priorities first. We don't actually drink on passage, not very often, unless it's a very calm evening, and maybe even then it's like one beer. But because we're going to Bermuda, we did just want to stock up a little bit. We hear it's very expensive there. One thing down. So much more to go. We wanted to buy a bottle of champagne for when we get to Azores, but Adam didn't say what size champagne we should get. Craig has found a whole 1 litre of creme brulee cream. When we first came out here, I stocked up on so many dried beans, it was ridiculous. And 2 years later, when we went back to Australia, I ended up throwing most of those dried beans away. And they've just been sitting there, slowly rotting and attracting bugs for about 2 years. So if there's one thing that you can get, I'm not going to say almost anywhere in the world, but if you can get fairly easily, it's dried beans and rice. Don't go stocking up on it. You kind of underestimate how much you really think you're gonna cook dried beans. So the first place that we've actually stopped at is a bulk buying place. We're going to stock up here on, you know, the kind of like essential items that don't go off. Things like flour and toilet paper and beans. And then after that we'll go to the usual supermarkets, get a few of the things that we haven't found here. And then on the last few days before we leave, we go and get everything to do with fresh fruit and veggies. Trip done. Now to put them all away and come back to a second trip. How's your day, Adzi?
Ups and downs, breaking things, fixing things, and editing, yeah. Just hunched over a laptop, really.
Okay, we are back on the boat now with our second load of shopping. And while I was away, Adam actually managed to put the first load of shopping away, which is awesome. This is mostly the contents of the second shop. Now I need to kind of find a home for all of this. A few bits of it I'm going to be cooking with very shortly and prepping, so I'll be using them at least, but the rest need homes. So last time when we crossed, I brought some Dr. Pepper with us, and it was kind of known at the end as our emergency Dr. Pepper. So whenever we had a bad thing go wrong, and there were so many of them last time, I would bring out this and Adam's face would just be like, ah, it's the best day ever now! So I have got us some emergency Dr. Pepper just in case that happens again.
Off to get the jab, not the jab, the nose jab COVID test. So to depart, before we depart Bermuda, it'll everything is faster and easier if you arrive with a PCR test, as is the case for pretty much everywhere. So,
negative PCR test.
A negative PCR test, yeah. So we're plan to depart Saturday, but it's now Wednesday, and we've got, that'll put us inside the 5 days prior to departure window, so can't be avoided.
So 3 days to go before departure. We still have a lot of things to do, but you know when you get closer and closer and closer to a holiday or something, it seems that those tasks that are on your to-do list are a lot less relevant. So I think we're getting to that stage now. There's only a few actual things we really need to do, and
I don't know, filling up the water tanks sounds pretty important to me.
water tanks probably should be number one. Alright, we're up next. I hate going through this. We're at the drive-through on a drive-through PCR centre on the French side, which have It's very down pat. They're very quick and efficient.
Okay, ready. Perfect. That's it. It's finished.
Very nervous?
Not as much. Adam has promised me that it's not that bad at all. She's very quick. She's like, and it's done. So.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
It's okay.
Smooth.
Okay.
Alright, we're both a bit tired, but we will update you on what we have done. And while we've tried to film some of it, after a little while you just end up wanting to get stuff done rather than film it, which takes twice as long. So what we have done is we have done all of our water and diesel top-ups. We have, I'm going to read on here, we've finished our episode that needs to be released on Monday. It's now Friday. We have stowed the deck and mostly stowed inside here. We have provisioned, bought a bunch of food. I've also cooked up a lot of food. I did a lot of canning as well for meats and things like that, which might be a little harder to find or more expensive than what we're used to in Bermuda. What else do we... There are quite a few things that we still have left to do. Upload the episodes, we need to go to a bar for that. We still need to check out of the country. We need to, after all of our chores on shore, we need to go and do some fresh food shopping, and then after that we need to haul the dinghy, put the outboard downstairs, we're going to keep it. And we also are going to run our jack lines around the deck as well, so that when we wake up tomorrow morning, we should in theory just be good to go. We'll have a cup of tea and then just head straight off. It's all sounding like a little bit, but we should get it done. It will be a late night. I still need to make the curtains. We're expecting a little bit of a wet/cloudy ride. Adam always checks the clouds, and he's expecting a bit of rain, so it's in our best interest for me to stay up late and make some curtains, make some rear curtains. We have the forward curtains, there's not the rear ones, so I'll have to do that tonight. There we go. You catch me as I'm trying to stuff stuff into the freezer. Okay, I guess he can't live there. So we don't have much freezer space, as you can see. Alright, just did the final shop and have bought most of the fresh fruit and veg that we're going to carry. We found that in the past carrots, cabbage, apples and oranges or mandarins last quite well. So I'm stuffing all of the stuff into the fridge, seeing where it can fit, and then after that we're ready, pretty much ready, apart from the curtains. And
yeah. The dinghy and the outboard.
And the dinghy and the outboard and uploading the episode. After all that, we're good, we're good. Alright.